Welcome to the Farm Show. This week we're visiting Dennis Tigas. Dennis and his wife Diane have been here for a long time, and they've gotten into another side business, which looks like a big project, which we're mainly going to be showing you today. His hog barns, which are no longer used for hogs, pheasants. He's growing pheasants in there now. So yesterday, the little babies arrived. We'll be getting to see them a little later.
You bet.
How many did you get this year?
We picked up 1,500 this year, and 700 of them are straight run roosters, and the rest are what they consider 50-50 straight run. But the roosters are sex, so they're 95% guaranteed to be all roosters.
Mm-hmm. And then when we get to see them, I saw earlier two different types. You got some.
Yes, we started a couple of years ago getting a few what they call blacks, and it's just something a little different. We only raise a few of those, but there's a demand for them with some of the shooting preserves in there. They're a very interesting bird, and I get a lot of comments on those.
Mm-hmm. So the shooting preserves, that's your market?
That is correct. Shooting preserves, and then I market a fair number here with people who are doing dog training.
Okay.
Because I can put the birds out and their dog is going to get the opportunity to flush birds. Mm-hmm. Or if you go and hunt maybe all day in the wild and kick up 2 birds, it doesn't really do much for training. So
for that, do they right on your farm here, or do?
Yes, once the pheasant season is open, the rule is the minute I put them on the ground, they belong to the state of Minnesota.
Okay.
So you need to have a license here, a Minnesota license, and you can shoot your limit. So, so that's the criteria.
The shooting preserves in Minnesota, or where are they at?
They're in Minnesota, yes. And they're, you just go there and you pay so much a bird to hunt, and you don't need a Minnesota license because you get a tag on the bird there. And so they can shoot hens and roosters. We only can shoot roosters here. So.
Okay, so that's really not part of the regular hunting season.
At the
preserves.
At the preserves, no.
Okay.
That's a big season, long
I'm not
season.
real familiar with how they do. Where are they close by, or where?
Well, there's ones right here by Dalton and Alexandria, and used to be Dykhoff's by Bluffton did it.
Okay.
And stuff, but now there's one at Aiken. Our birds go down towards the Twin Cities area, and that guy shoots a lot. They do a lot of hunting, and they work good. So
we're in the middle of May now. And then when will the birds be full size ready for hunting?
The pheasants take 21 weeks to be fully mature. So we got them yesterday, and the 11th of October they'll be fully mature and ready to go. They can be taken out a little earlier if there's a demand, but most of mine go fully mature. So big long tails.
And that's how I first knew. That's how I first learned that you grew pheasants, because how long have you been at this with the pheasants?
6 years.
6 years. It was maybe 2 or 3 years ago at a benefit auction. Your wife had some decoration things with pheasant feathers.
Yep.
And I was asking her about it, and I didn't know you were growing them out here. So yeah, she was doing something decorative with them.
Right. We consider that we not only sell pheasants, but we basically try to sell feathers. We want big, mature, long-tailed birds. I mean, that's what the people really like to get after. So
sure.
So
well, let's go into one of the barns. You've got your the little babies arrived yesterday, and you have them in 3 different pens, 3 different groups. One is the all roosters, and so let's
they look like the other ones, but let's do that.
Okay, now we're indoors. This is one of 3 pens that Dennis got started yesterday with the babies. So these are 1-day-old pheasants. And these are the roosters, this pen?
Correct. These are all what they call sexed, and they're all males. And you can see what we utilize here is we utilize a gas brooder for our heat. You got to think that back yesterday morning at 7 o'clock they were in an incubator at 102 degrees. So they like it warm right now. And then we use a watering system, which is little brass nipples with little water saver pans underneath them. The instinct of the pheasant is to pick the dew off of the bottom of a leaf. And so we have the lights that shine on these, and they see that little shiny thing, and they go right over and peck at them. And then we have our feed pans out for right now as a way to get them started to eat, jumping in like that. And then as they get a little older, we'll start to add feeders in. And the netting around the outside is to keep them where we want them now. But in 1 week, they'll be flying over the top of this 2-foot netting already.
None of them are flying today.
Not today, no. No, they're just...
And I suppose their wing feathers start growing out fast. and-
Right.
So
That's what
1
they do,
week this
so-
comes out because then they'll have the whole room they can.
Right. And we have a lot of light on in here right now, but these lights that you see positioned in here are with 7.5 watt bulbs. And pheasants are very cannibalistic, so we try to keep the light down, and we utilize the light to shine where we want the birds to go, like to the feeders or the waterers. So
When we came into the room, before we turned the lights on, it was dark in here except for the little spotlights
Correct.
onto the waterers.
correct, and that works very well.
So, okay, after a week, you'll take this fence down, they can have the entire room.
Right, and we'll
and
bed a little more straw on the ends and stuff like that, and they'll run around. And we'll have other waterers for them at that time also, so.
this was one of your hog barns.
Correct.
A farrowing building,
This was
I
a
think.
nursery room.
Oh, nursery.
Nursery room,
Okay.
so.
And so now, how long will they be in this room then?
In about 6 weeks, we'll put blinders on them, 6 to 7 weeks, and then we'll, at that time, open up the back door and transition them out into a holding area there so they adjust to the sunlight and the temperature there, and then they'll go out into the big pens as they desire then after that.
Because outside of the building are some large pens with the weeds and grass growing, which they'll be able to run around. And they also have the netting over the top.
Correct.
And now, is the netting to keep them from escaping, or what's the...
Let's keep them from escaping, that is correct. And try to keep some of the varmints out, but basically it's more just to keep the birds in.
Okay, otherwise your hawks would
Yep.
grab one.
Yep. And this way they get frustrated because they can't get through the netting, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're starting to move out again now too, so.
Dennis was telling us how you come in here at different times of the day, and these little babies, sometimes they're all clustered together, like resting, and other times they're actively eating. And when we came in a few minutes ago, they were clustered, and now they're starting to disperse.
Yep.
Yeah, these are cute.
Yeah, they're just like little kids. They like to play hard for a little bit, and then they like to take a little rest.
And they're all on the same schedule.
Yeah.
It seems like they are. So, okay, you've got 3 of these,
Yep.
and then they'll be outside where they mature.
Correct.
And
then we have holding areas where we drive them in and to catch them and put them in our boxes and haul them. So
I want to take a look at them boxes again.
We'll do that.
Dennis has built some carrying crates for hauling when he sells his pheasants. So, okay, well, we'll shut the lights out here and let these back to their dark.
okay,
Interesting little side project to go with your
right.
grain farming. Fills up your spare time in the
You
summer.
Right. You need to be busy, and they'll keep you busy. And we've had some very good people helping us with this project. And like I tell Gene, I mean, you learn something every year, so it's just you adapt as you go.
Keeps evolving.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
thanks for watching the Farm Show TV3. We'll see you next week.